Let's discuss Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. The price action over the last week has been some of the worst we've seen in quite a while. And the main reason for that is there's really no buyers. Buyers are just fully AFK. They're enjoying the tail end of the summer, and we're here, sitting on our computers looking at charts all day, trying to scrape together a solid trade. But really though, buyers are just nowhere to be seen. We have zero consistent buy pressure. Levels are kind of being defended, but nothing really to write home about, nothing whatsoever. So really, instead of looking to buy at certain levels, like as you can see here, I'll discuss this Bitcoin level. So instead of looking to buy and setting blind bids at levels, I'm really waiting for the intraday price action to fully swap. So what I mean by that is I'm looking for a consolidation period that actually breaks out and then continues to break higher after the initial breakout, instead of the selling being engulfed in the next H4 candle. So aside from just looking at intraday price action and just paying attention to it and waiting for buyers to show up, let's talk about some key levels. The first level that I'm really interested in is this green box here at 112 to about 111. Okay, so this is the real breakout point, the H4 breakout point that sent us to our high at about 125,000. Okay, so this is going to be a key level. We could see price bounce there before then setting our high at 125,000, right? So very key level, very important level, one to be aware of. In addition to that, we have 115.2, which is not going to be a new level. I've discussed this level in incredible detail. So we have two main levels to be aware of. How exactly do you play something like this? Between green and from 115.2 down is going to be the Diddy zone. This is where traders are going to get chopped to absolute bits, maybe liquidated against their will. So in my opinion, instead of trading the Diddy zone and diddling in the Diddy zone, I'm going to wait for a reclaim of 115.2 or for some price action to happen within green that shows me signs that buyers are back from their summer holidays and back to the charts, and hopefully going to put in some consistent buy pressure. So unfortunately, there's nothing really that I could say. It's just one of those things that I'll be tracking intraday and seeing when it changes, how it changes, and then hopefully using that as a learning opportunity in future videos to discuss what I saw and how you could look for similar things. Ideally, we see something happen from here down, of course, from right where price is down into green. Ideally, we see some kind of positive reaction, but still, if it's not one of the typical setups, or it's an H4 or H1 consolidation period, if the intraday price action has not shifted or anything that I'm looking for has not changed, I'm not going to be taking the position until there's a reclaim of 115.2. Yes, technically I'll be missing the first, 4% of the move, but for me, that would give me a lot more clarity and a lot more strength to my overall trading arguments. And losing this green box is where it becomes very uncomfortable. This is a really great H4 breakout point. Maybe, if we sweep the lows or something like this, that's perfectly fine. But if we really sweep the lows, consolidate below the lows, and then leg lower from green, I think that would be a really bad sign for Bitcoin and the markets overall. Of course, while that scenario is on my mind, while we're above support, I can be aware of the other side of the argument, the bearish side of the argument, of course, but I really can't let that play too much at my emotions because price is still above support. We are still above this H4 breakout point, so I'm waiting to see a reaction from here. Even though intraday price action has been bleak for the last week, we'll see if we can get something going here. So Ethereum, on the other hand, is giving a completely different point of view. I would actually argue that Ethereum looks much stronger and much better overall. We are within this H4 consolidation period before the move up. We have a sweep of the consolidation period before reclaiming it. Yes, we did fail to hold the breakout above the consolidation period, but I'm not really too worried about it because of the Bitcoin price action today and how miserable it has been so far. Still, we are holding the local low here. We are still within the H4 consolidation period. So to me, that is a sign of strength, even though most of the market may not have the same levels of strength that Ethereum does. At this point, any long argument for Ethereum would need to use this local low. And from my point of view, this local low needs to hold for any kind of bullish argument that I could make from this Ethereum price action. So really the obvious decision for a potential trade setup is going to be longing as close to the bottom of the consolidation period as possible with an invalidation below the local low, which I just discussed. That's going to be the invalidation for any kind of bullish argument whatsoever. Okay, and then take profit 1 is going to be, I don't know, somewhere below the daily level that I discussed in the last video. Also, what I wanted to point out, while I believe Ethereum is much stronger than Bitcoin at this current moment, I just wanted to highlight this diagonal, which looks a little bit sketchy. So another potential trade setup is whatever happens down here, fine. You know, hopefully we hold that local low, but then break above that diagonal, give some extra layers of confluence, and then potentially the long trigger can be on the break of the diagonal here, invalidation below the local low, take profit at the daily level. So let's say this local low does fail and Ethereum just rolls over here and joins Bitcoin with the pity party that is currently going on for it. The real level of interest I have is probably going to be somewhere within here. So just below 3,900, maybe here at this H4 consolidation period after flipping that 3,900 level. So somewhere within here as well. So 3,950 to 3,900, somewhere within there is going to be like the breakdown target and the next level I'd like to see hold. So for the price action nerds like myself, I think Solana has some of the best looking price action between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course Solana. Just in terms of reactions at levels, I think this is a really good learning tool for H4 breakout points, breakdown points, and really using all of the levels to your advantage. I think they're super clean and ones that you could easily replicate and look for on other charts as well. Does the actual recent intraday price action fit that theory? Here's the issue. As you know, I really like to take these H4 consolidation retest setups, and how I judge the market conditions is obviously just looking at the price action, but also reactions from levels like an H4 consolidation. So what I'll do at times is take a little tester, a little feeler trade. So where I'll take something like this on Solana, invalidation at the local lows, take profit, I don't know, somewhere above here, something like this would be a little feeler position. So what I do here is I'm taking a normal H4 consolidation break trade. I'm looking to fill on the retest, and then I'm looking for a strong reaction from the retest of the H4 consolidation period. So based on the reaction is confirming whatever intraday price action is happening, whatever I think about the intraday price action. So I think the intraday price action has been bearish. I needed to verify that through one of my classic setups, one that if the tides did change, we would have gotten a strong reaction from the retest of the H4 consolidation period, and that has unfortunately not happened. But while that H4 consolidation retest has failed currently, I'd still give it a bit more time to see if the next few hours can change. We are still within the H4 consolidation period. The trade is not invalid unless the local low has been broken. And structurally, I'd also argue that it looks better than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. It would have looked incredible to see that H4 consolidation retest hold and price bouncing from here. But obviously the market had a different idea, and it's much, much weaker than most people even anticipated. So it's just one of those things that I personally take as a sign to not be so aggressive with fresh trades. We could look at the previous price action, and that's clear to not be with fresh entries. But here we are, just another layer of confirmation, this H4 consolidation retest failing. A potential trade opportunity that could come from this though is if we actually do hold this local low and we really don't sell off much more from here, a really clear trade opportunity is going to come from a reclaim of this level. Invalidation is going to be maybe even the low before the reclaim if you're really feeling spicy, or the local low and take profit 1 will be somewhere, I don't know, somewhere up here where you're front running the highs from 205. So we'll see. Unfortunately, like I said, we haven't had very much inspiring price action. We're waiting for that shift in intraday price action to really feel more excited about potential opportunities that we have in front of us. Overall, though, I'm still higher time frame bullish. This is just one of those things that unfortunately buyers are just nowhere to be found. The market conditions have shifted in the last week, and that happens perfectly fine. We're on defense mode until those conditions swap. Let me know if you have any questions, any concepts you want to see, any video ideas you'd like to see, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.